Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight, Aries, is the Three of Cups, which has everything to do with abundance. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves want to show us tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Okay. Okay, so I want to look at this image. It's kind of wild. We have a person. You can see the eyes right here. Here are the eyes, kind of the mouth. This is their head. Now their body kind of going down this way, almost kind of in a, like their arms are raised and they're laying back a little bit. That's kind of how I imagine it. Holding in this hand, right, they have a scythe. Okay, so this is a tool that is used to harvest crops. Okay, so we have the harvest. Now we also have another scythe over here. So definitely a strong energy. Now, as you kind of look down here, it looks like we have a sad face. It reminds me of kind of that classic image of a clown who is crying, the fool who is weeping. And over here we have, it looks like we have a person watching. You can see the face right here. Here's the eye. They're kind of looking out this way. Now we also have a bird right here, and it looks like they have a little, I don't know, they have their leg and claw out, and up here they're holding, it looks like, the Queen of Cups. Okay, you have a figure here. Here's the head. Here in the hand is a cup. Okay, so let's look at this over. Let's see what's going on here. So it does feel like there is maybe some sense of lamenting the end of something, right? This makes so much sense right now. Today I was out with my daughter and my husband, and we were at the shoe store, right? I had to get her some shoes, getting ready for school. And so there's a lot of kids out with their parents right now, getting their stuff ready to go back to school in about a month or so, right? And so there is this feeling of an end coming soon, right? The end of summer, the end of freedom, having to go back to school. Can you remember what that felt like when you knew your vacation time was coming to an end pretty soon and you were going to have to go back to studying? It was terrible. But yes, I do. I think that, you know, there's kind of this feeling of not wanting something to end, but at the same time having to be in a place of finishing it and harvesting from it that which you have produced. So maybe this is kind of like you've had a job or a gig or whatever, you've been collaborating with somebody, maybe it's a relationship, and you know, it's apparent that this is going to kind of be the last of it. It's not working out for whatever reason. But there is much that comes from the situation. That's why I wonder if it's more of like a job, because you have gained something, right? You've gained experience, some money. Maybe you've been studying and you are expanding your skill set. Maybe it's been like an apprenticeship or something. There's a sense of really, really feeling like, I don't want this to be over. I don't want this to be the end. I have been loving this. I've really been into it. And so there's kind of this weepiness, this kind of just moping around a little bit, Aries. And that's not really kind of the vibe of an Aries. So I do feel like this is something that really was quite meaningful, is quite meaningful, because I don't know that it's even over yet. But I do feel like you are aware. You're aware that maybe it is time. We already know, it's hit its prime. It's kind of deteriorating. And timely as well. Everything outside has hit its peak, it seems like. I've been looking around at the yard today and I'm like, oh, it's starting to get kind of dry out here. It's kind of, getting to that time where some of the grass is going to start turning a little bit golden. So now we have over here the bird, who is the messenger, holding on to the Queen of Cups, okay? So I do feel like this is a reminder to you, right, to really kind of go over, what did you really love about this situation? What was so good about it? It's not about diminishing. It's about finding a position, a place of gratitude. To think, I really love this. I'm really sad it's over, but I want to look over and think about all of the little parts of it that I enjoyed so much, that have changed me as a person. Maybe I went into this thinking it's just going to be like another job, another round of school or licensing or, whatever it is. And you got in there and you met some cool people and you did your thing and you really wish that it would not be over. You don't want it to end. But it has to. Everything has to at some point, right? And so I feel like being active in this Queen of Cups energy, and that is to be able to really kind of control your emotions, your reactions, but to also hold that cup and peer into it. Look at those beautiful, life-giving waters. Look at what you have done. Look at what you have accomplished, that you have been so blessed to be a part of, right? And, you might be thinking, Lenore, this was not that big of a deal. I'm sad it's over, but it wasn't like, some defining part of my life. Well, okay. It's still, something that we can use as practice to work on our gratitude, right? Find a few things that you enjoyed, that you are thankful for, that, you even feel like quite moved by, right? Write them down. Write down your emanations of gratitude, right? Keep it for yourself. Whenever you're thinking, nothing's going right, everything in life is such a mess that, it never works out in my favor, you pull out that little notebook or that piece of paper and you look at it and you remember how you felt in this situation, how surprised you were, how well you did, the connections that you have created, and the opportunities that you have really, really cultivated for yourself. And so I feel like we kind of, we go from the sad clown over here crying, and then you look here, Here's the eyes, the nose, and kind of a, you know, maybe not smiling wildly, but yes, being in a place of feeling pretty content, right? And so I feel like this is kind of, I mean, it's nothing profound maybe, but I do believe that when we actively work on noticing, being present, taking note of the situations, the circumstances, the impressions, how stuff makes us feel, right? And then when it's over, looking back and thinking of ways that we can be grateful. It will change the way that you think about stuff, even when it's hard, right? Even when it's something, it's 95 degrees outside and, you know, you get a flat tire and you're thinking, what in the world should I ever be grateful for when I'm on the side of the highway, or, well, hopefully not that, right? The side of the road, no traffic. And, you know, I'm out here changing my tire. I don't know what I'm grateful for in this situation, but you will find things to be grateful for, because you're training your brain to look for them, and it gets easier. It absolutely does. Okay, let's keep going here. So we have the moon right here, and you can see the face. Here's the eye, the nose, the mouth. And it does kind of look like it's sitting on the back of the ram. Look at this. This is the face of the ram. Here's the horn, and the body's kind of like underneath the moon. So I do think that you are quite affected by the moon, definitely. Oh, we also have 44 right there, 4-4. We also have a 6 down here. Now I want to turn this before we kind of look at what's going on with this moon. Okay, so we have a person fishing up here. Okay. We also have, it looks like a seagull's head right here, and a face right here. You can see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth is down here. Okay, so no, it's too far. We have the moon sitting on the, so I really feel like maybe it is that you're having bad dreams. Because this moon almost looks callous, right? No care in the world for what you're going through. But I do, it's the feeling of fear rising in the night. Anxieties, not being able to sleep really well. Something is on your mind. And it's at night, you know, when you're trying to calm down and empty your mind, and, you know, just you're tired, you're depleted, you've had a long day, and you lie there and you worry. And it's like, it feels like almost kind of a loop you can't find your way out of. It feels very, almost oppressive, right? It's just kind of an oppressive feeling. Now, I feel like, yeah, there's probably something that you're worried about. I mean, of course, we all have things that we're worried about. If you get to a point in life where you don't have anything to be concerned about, I don't know, you better check your pulse, right? So I absolutely feel that this is tied to something real. You know, this isn't just kind of intrusive worry or stress. But I also feel like it's almost kind of, I don't know, it feels like home to be worried, right? Maybe that it is something that you do so often and you've done since you were so little, that when you are in a place of thinking about things and kind of, you know, trying to work them out and worrying about them and it's going kind of over and over and over in your mind, that's what normal feels like to you. But I think that it's becoming kind of a struggle, you know, because I think that you are missing out on some sleep and you want to focus on other things, right? But you keep getting drawn back into this place. And, you know, and I don't know, I don't have great advice about how to deal with that besides distractions and mindfulness and kind of finding outlets, right, to kind of process some of the stuff. Painting, drawing, writing about these things, if you feel comfortable doing that. Going for walks, doing things that kind of change the way you feel physically. Maybe if you get into this cycle of worrying and worrying, you get up, even if it's like 3 a.m, and you go take a shower, right? Go get yourself kind of immersed in some water, or yeah, I was gonna say submerged, but you wouldn't be submerged in the shower, hopefully. Stand under the water, all right? Get some water on you and change your body temperature, right? Cool yourself down, heat yourself up, whatever feels better, and maybe try to get back into bed afterwards and see if that helps, you know, kind of derail that loop of thinking. Now we also have the person who is fishing. So I do feel like this maybe is somewhat related to money and money worries. Okay. And then what else did we have over here? Oh yes, we had the seagull. A bird that just won't stop, right? Have you ever been around seagulls and they want your food or they know you have something? Ooh, they will not leave you alone. So I kind of almost, I mean, it does feel like kind of this maritime theme, right? We have the fishing, we have the bird, and then we have the guy, or it could be a gal, with the face down here. Now on their forehead, it kind of looks like they have a dolphin. So I do feel like this is somebody who is quite psychic, actually. The dolphin is a real psychic being. And so to have that and in the place of the third eye is really interesting. I wonder if they're a water sign, but I also think that they're almost kind of, they're so full of themselves, it kind of makes it hard to even want to like heed their advice, if that makes sense. Like they're so sure, right? They're so full of themselves. I think it's just an arrogance. It's kind of an arrogance, I believe, but they're very psychic, so it's confusing. It's like, you know, you imagine when you meet somebody who is like a practitioner of some you know, spiritual system or religious system. They are maybe in an elevated place, you know, they might be a leader or a teacher or whatever, and you go to them and you think this is going to be a person who they're evolved, they're on the level, they, you know, probably hopefully will be a kind and open and you know, it doesn't have to be agreeable, but, you know, somewhat agreeable person, right? And then you meet them and it's just, you know, it feels almost like a put on because they are so narcissistic. And it's so far away from the kind of image you have of a person like this, what you think they should be like, that it's off-putting, right? And it's hard to listen. It's hard to listen. Maybe you're like, what is going on with this person? And yeah, so I feel like there's almost kind of this sense of looking and not, I feel like it's, I almost feel like it's kind of trying to find these answers in a external place, and the only place that you're going to get any kind of answer is the interior. And so you go fishing, right, in the unconscious and see what comes, what will reveal itself to you. And so maybe this is coming through dreams, right? Maybe your message will come through visions, dreams, synchronicities. Because I don't think that a person is going to be able to, first of all, really be able to tell you clearly, like, this is how you fix this, or this is what you need to do. But even if they did, I don't feel like you would be receptive to the information, because in particular, this person here just seems disingenuous. Even though they're probably speaking truths of some kind, and they are quite psychic and probably pretty evolved as a being, they're just not your kind of person. And I think that is the difficulty here, okay? Now, I feel like you are so persistent anyways. You're just going to keep going, and nothing's going to stop you. So you're going to keep going for what you are looking to receive. And that is an admirable disposition, in my opinion, right? Having the wherewithal to keep going and not feeling like, oh, this is so difficult, I give up. I'm pointing at myself. That's fully me. So I feel like you keep going, you're on this path, and you're going to stay on it. That's kind of the energy that I get. Now we have a bunch of fish down here. So it leads me to believe that, there's a lot of stuff for you to discover. It's not going to be just like this years and years in the desert. You have no kind of revelation or spiritual download or any kind of guidance. No, it's there, and it will be there, and you will catch it. You will catch quite a few, I'm sure. It's just it's about staying in it, right? Continuing on. Keep, casting that thing out and reeling it in and casting it. You keep with it, okay? You got it. You're almost there. You're almost there. Okay, so we have, it looks like X, Y. I immediately think X, Y, Z. Everything is everything is everything. We have a large E. Oh, we have a person. Okay, here we go. We have a person on a boat dancing. We also have an Ace of Cups down here. So that cup, it keeps showing up. It's everywhere. And it is. We have big water energy this week, don't we? So I do feel like as you are really kind of allowing yourself to change and make really, I feel, brave decisions. You are doing things that maybe you've never done, doing things you've only dreamt of doing, trying stuff you've never even thought of, right? Exposing yourself to new things. It really is so joyous for you. I do. I think that this is a place where you find a lot of joy. And that's not always the case. And I know you've been through a lot, you know. From the readings I've had for Aries in the last year and a half or whatever, 2 years, I know there's been some big stuff going on. But I do think that you're finally getting into a place where you're letting yourself enjoy, even just a little bit. And I do believe it is. It's like, you know, that sun early in the morning when it starts to peek over the horizon. And at first it's just like 1 or 2 little rays that are catching. And then next thing you know, it's just all lit up, right? And I feel like that's so much the energy here. You are just sailing into that illumination, that beautiful, sunny glory, right? There's so much clarity here, so much kind of a confirmation of what you're doing means something. What you're doing is worthwhile, right? You haven't just like set out on this path as a fool and continued on and there's nothing to gain. No, you have dedicated yourself to a life that maybe is kind of unconventional, or the people around you just don't understand. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's your life and it means something to you. And I think that becomes so apparent in this time coming up here. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. We're going to go right over here. And I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, Hero's Journey. I am the hero of my story. My life is an ongoing adventure of growth and courage. I am victorious. I am victorious. Okay, Aries, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and I think you know I do. I really do. And I want to go ahead and thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. And also, if you want to leave a comment, I would love for you to do that. I read them all. And especially if you're new to the channel, shout it out in the comments. Let me know you're here. All right, Aries, once again, I love you, I love you, I love you. We will talk soon. Take care of yourself. Good night.